So what the heck is this BOI thing, and why could it cost you $500 per day on January 1st if you don't file it? Well, let me start by saying there's just probably no way on earth that they're going to make small businesses file this form by the end of the year under the threat of a $500 per day fine and, get this, jail time, okay? But the U.S. Treasury is holding firm on this January 1 deadline at the time that I'm recording this, and I've never seen a private business compliance project with this much teeth if you ignore it. Right now, the Treasury is playing a high-stakes game of chicken with small businesses, and you may not even realize it. What are we even talking about here, okay? It's the Treasury's Financial Crimes and Enforcement Network, also known as FinCEN. And that department is requiring most small businesses with less than $5 million in gross receipts each year to report about the individuals who ultimately own or control them with the BOI. That's Beneficial Ownership Information Report, which is due January 1, 2025. And only like 10% of the small businesses in America have complied so far, or are probably even aware that they're going to be required to file these reports with the federal government for each and every one of your businesses and LLCs under this law called the Corporate Transparency Act. And if you don't do it, well, it could cost you that $500 per day and up to 2 years of jail time if you blow it off. This is unbelievable. This isn't for big companies either. You know, the stuff that they usually require of big companies. In fact, it's the opposite. This applies to LLCs and companies with even 1 or 2 owners, mom and pop shops, single-owned LLCs. So what is this law anyway? This Corporate Transparency Act is supposed to help law enforcement combat the use of shell companies, money laundering, and terrorist acts. And I bet it's also going to help the Treasury check for tax compliance and enforcement. That's how they make their job easier. This thing is just plain concerning because the government just doesn't do well with our private information. Now, unless your business falls within one of 23 types of exempt organizations, you have to file a report about your beneficial owners or else. But get this, you also have to provide information about the people who prepared and filed your business formation documents as well. So, who's a beneficial owner? It's anybody with substantial control or a direct or indirect 25% stake in a business. So, it's going to be company officers, certain directors, all decision makers, not including your company accountants or lawyers in most circumstances. And like any good U.S. Treasury program, it's going to be governed by a bunch of FAQs. And there are a bunch of "it depends" answers in those FAQs. Translation: it's murky. It's going to get complicated. It's going to get time-consuming, something that you definitely need as a business owner at the end of this year, right? More time-consuming, complicated, tax-related type reporting compliance issues. And again, the stakes are just really too high to make a mistake here. Again, they're playing chicken with us. For that reason, my accounting firm is going to help small businesses with these filings with our white glove service for about a third of 1 day's worth of fines for noncompliance, okay? I created a white paper for you so you can read more about that. Just click below to get started.